Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, the channel donations, the Venmo, and the Patreon family. Please believe we are working. Now, yesterday there was a small sleeper card headlined by Jezreel Corrales and Machado. It was a solid fight, and I thought Machado was losing. Puerto Rico, he's trained by Freddie Roach, and he got knocked down. Came back to stop the champion and become a champion, Corrales. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Also on the card was Demetrius Andrade. Now, as I mentioned to you guys, and it's also on the website boxingego.com, Andrade was moving up to 160 to test the waters. He did that against the little-known Alantez Fox. He dominated. I thought he looked sharp in the fight. I know some people, see, I really view boxing from a realistic set of lenses. Some people are going to say, oh, the fight was boring, which maybe you could say that because it wasn't the most thrilling. But to me, Andrade hurt Fox, staggered him back in round one. And from that point, you have Fox, who was the bigger, taller man, and he did not look like he was willing to take it up a notch. And it got to a point where he needed a knockout to win, and he's not a big knockout puncher, and he simply wasn't doing the things. So I'm not going to say he wasn't trying, but he was just overmatched, outclassed. Anybody that watches boxing, you'll know if your opponent is not offensive and kind of in survival mode or whatnot, then it's going to be hard to look spectacular, especially a guy like Andrade, who's versatile, offense, defense, but part of his game plan and sharpness relies on the counter, and there's not as much to counter when you're walking your man down. The taller man's not jabbing, not doing this, you know what I mean? It's harder to catch him. So I looked at it and I thought Andrade looked good. First fight at 160, he was outweighed. I think they said Alantez Fox weighed like 183, 185 pounds on the unofficial weigh-in, so he rehydrated a lot. He was noticeably bigger than Andrade. So it was a solid first fight, and I mean, you can't take nothing away. Even there was a round 7 or something, where they said Andrade was knocked down and it was a 10-8 round, but upon the replay, when they played the replay, he wasn't really knocked down. It was his feet got tangled up and he tripped. So that's really probably the only round you could even score for Fox. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for Andrade. So I'm not going to hold that against Andrade for the fight not being exciting, because the Willie Nelson fight was exciting, and it was really because Willie Nelson was at least trying to, you know what I mean, mount an attack offensively. But if you got a guy who's just timid and not taking the necessary steps, you know what I mean, the fight's not going to be that action-packed. So I didn't do a post-fight commentary. Really, I just didn't feel like it, to be honest. But I wanted to watch the fight just to see what's going on. But I thought Andrade looked good, and I think he's going to be a great addition to the middleweight division. Now, fast forward to the future, I believe he's going to stay up there and pursue the big fights like Canelo, Triple G, maybe Charlo, Murata, who's with Top Rank. He just had a good win over Hassan Endam this morning. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. And if you go on the WBA website, you see on the thumbnail, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade vacated his 154-pound title. So I guess he's going to be a resident at middleweight, and he doesn't have plans of going back down. Now, the only bad news to that is a fight. I think he was a mandatory for Erislandy Lara at 154, and now him vacating the belt and leaving the division, who knows if that fight will happen. However, all is not lost, because I distinctly remember Erislandy Lara calling out Gennady had no guys Triple G Golovkin at 160. So if you're willing to fight the middleweight champion, you know what I mean, the guy who's perceived as the best middleweight at 160, why not fight Demetrius Andrade at 160? You know what I'm saying? So maybe that fight could still happen, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen at 154. And me personally, I really like, I'm I'm gonna say this as nicely and as transparent as possible. I fuck with Lara. I like Lara. I think he's highly skilled, but his fight with Terrell Gausha and some of his fights, he tends to not do himself any favors because he doesn't show the eagerness to get out of that mode that he's in, that amateur kind of mode. And even against Terrell Gausha, fine. Let's say you want to play it safe. He's an Olympian, cool. He has some good power. But against Delvin Rodriguez, he really could have stopped Delvin Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? Put Delvin Rodriguez at the time Erislandy Lara fought him. Put him in there with Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo just stopped Erickson Lubin, who was supposed to be this young, fresh, hot stud, up-and-coming prospect with knockout power and southpaw, and he stopped him in one round. He stopped Charles Hatley. So a guy like Delvin Rodriguez couldn't exist with Jermell and Jermall Charlo, Boo Boo Andrade. I really don't see that. So that's another thing. Lara, and I'm never the one that says, oh, this guy's boring or runner and stuff like that, but he has to fix that, because the crazy thing is Lara has power. Lara has power to hurt guys, but he has to get out of the mode. I mean, I was at his fight with Vanes Martirosyan. He was the main event. I went to the rematch. It was a Showtime triple header, and both of the Charlo fights, Austin Trout and John Jackson for Jermell, those were better fights and more sustained action. The Vanes Martirosyan, he just, you know what I mean, pot shotting, bop, picking off shots. Vanes is trying to make the fight. Like, Floyd don't fight like that. Terrence Crawford, there's a lot of guys who are skilled. Demetrius Andrade, a lot of guys who are skilled, but they're not necessarily fighting like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they're just so content with the pot shot that they're not letting, you know what I'm saying, letting the hands go a little bit more. So I think that's another thing. So I would like to see Andrade fight Lara, but you know what I mean, there's enough great fights at 160, so I'm not going to complain. And like I said, if Lara wants, he can come up to 160 to fight Andrade. But you got Daniel Jacobs, Luis Cuba Arias, Canelo Triple G. You have the Japanese dude that just stopped Hassan Endam, Murata. There's better names at 160 for Demetrius Andrade style. David Lemieux's fighting Billy Joe Saunders, so I like it. I like the move. Him vacating, I'm content with that, because who cares if he vacated 54 to go where there's other killers? You know what I mean? 160 has some killers right now, so it's not like he's ducking Lara or ducking Jermell Charlo, who have looked good in their recent fights. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think this means. Boo Boo Andrade has vacated his 54-pound title. What would you like to see next for him? Is he ready for the top dogs like a Canelo Triple G? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.